Good morning, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your reading for Thursday, the 31st of January. Where did January go, folks? Unbelievable. We have such a busy month in February, and I keep thinking it's been so busy in January. February's busier. We're all going to be absolutely flat out by the end of February. Oh, itchy nose. I'm going to use the After Tarot for your reading, and I want to say thank you very much for all your shares, subscribes, your comments, your beautiful energy, everything. I appreciate everything that I read, that I listen to. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone for participating in our community. It's such a nice feel. It feels like I have just a huge family with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, let's get cracking with your reading. What's happening for Thursday? Okay, ready. Oh, Seven of Cups coming out here. Now, Seven of Cups is a card of having too many options. No, it's confusion here. It's confusion, something to do with stability, because we have the Hierophant and the Four of Wands behind that. Some sort of confusion. It may be a choice about your stability, making an active choice. Let's see. Okay, Five of Swords coming out here. Five of Swords can be, well, somebody said it was about selfishness, and I guess it could be, because you do see a man who has three swords. He has two on the ground, though. Maybe he feels selfish because he's got all the swords now and everybody's walking away. I don't see this card that way, but I guess for different people it means different things. For me, it's all about the empty victory. It's like, you know, you've done something, you've been recognised for something, you're really enjoying something, but you've got nobody to enjoy it with you. And that's the way this card always makes me feel. It's like somebody wrote it up one day as the Pyrrhic victory, which I guess that's what it is. So it's sort of like you've had a win at something, but you've got nobody to share it with. Or you've had a win at something and you've alienated others to do that. Now that can be a good thing. It can be a good thing. If you're cutting people out of your life that no longer serve you, then yay for you, because that's what it's all about. The victory is in the cutting out, not the losing people. Page of Wands coming in here. So somebody is talking to you about something that means a lot to them. It's like you're trying to share this idea with someone. So maybe you're communicating that you've done this. Oh, look at this. Okay, so some of you may have cut out the water sign here. Here's a man who often represents Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But he's a man who has very, very deep feelings. He's just not always good at sharing them. And you know what? There's nothing worse than being with an emotionally cold person. And some people think that they're warm, but they're not. And I think this is what this man is. It's like he thinks he's sharing his feelings, but he really doesn't do them at a soul level. It's all talk. It's all how he thinks rather than feels. And a King of Cups is supposed to feel. So some of you are sharing with someone about cutting somebody out of your life that has that sort of energy. You've had to walk away from someone. The Four of Pentacles here. So this is about hanging on to something that you should be letting go of. And I always look at these pentacles across his heart, and I think, you know in your intuition and you know in your heart that you need to let this person go, but you're hanging on for grim death here, which is a little sad because you do need to let it go so the energy flows again. So it's a bit like money. Everything in the universe is energy. Everything has to flow. If you stop its flow, it doesn't grow. Oh, that's really cool. If you stop its flow, it doesn't grow. There you go, a little bit of poetry from the Aussie Goddess. And that's what that's all about. For some unknown reason, we've got this idea that if we hang on to things for grim death, that they will stay with us. But it doesn't work that way. And I often say, even in the private readings, even in psychology, whether we take this from a spiritual perspective or a psychological perspective, if you hang on to something, you become needy, desperate, and toxic. You can't hang on to things. If you let them go, you let the energy go, and then the other person is allowed to heal. So it's like you have this bond to them when you're hanging on to them like this, and they sort of sense you're there still, so they don't do the growth that they need to. For some of us, it's very difficult to let go of things. We hang on to them for grim death, like here. But when we do let them go, we feel a strange sense of freedom. But sometimes that can take a lot to do. Okay, we have the Three of Pentacles here. Now, the Three of Pentacles is about working on something with someone. I'll put all this together in a moment. Knight of Wands coming out here. Could be Leo, Sag, or Aries. Often seen as the in and out energy. It's a very fast energy. Sometimes this can be your own energy. Sometimes it can be someone who's just rushing in for a bit of hot love and then they're on their way again. Someone who's unable to make a commitment. When I see this over the top of the King of Cups, I think we're talking about someone who is unable to commit or refusing to commit here because they feel like they're putting in enough and they don't understand that they are really holding back. King of Swords coming in here. Now, the King of Swords can be a card that represents some people in our community. Can be a lawyer, can be a doctor, can be someone who's refusing to speak about their emotions. Can represent the air signs. I do that every time. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But we'll see. We'll see when I put it together. We do have the Death card here. Can represent Scorpio, and we do have some cards here that could represent Scorpio as well. The Death card is a card of transforming. I feel like this energy here is about you dropping something, no longer working with something here. You're letting something go. For some of you, this is letting a relationship or a marriage go. Keep going. Yep, you definitely are, because we have the Single card here. So for some of you, this is about letting a relationship go that is no longer serving you. It may have always been the same, but maybe you're just waking up to the fact it ain't going anywhere. No equal give and take. There you go. Nice little reading. Alrighty. So what we have here, we do have a choice here about your stability, and now I get why. Because some of you are having to let something go that is not serving you. And that's okay. This is a good thing, because I think this person that you're with doesn't understand their own feelings. So they think they do, and they will tell you they do. They may even tell you they love you, but you can feel it in that connection that this is not the case. They're not giving to you the way they should be. And I always think that that give and take thing is sort of hard to explain, because we sort of talk about, giving and taking as part of a relationship, and people immediately go to, how much housework the person does or how much money they put in. I'm not ever talking about that. What I'm talking about is that connection you have with someone at a soul level where you really feel their love for you, and you're not feeling this guy's love for you or this girl's love for you. It's like you hear them say the words, but the words just don't have the feeling there. They don't know how to feel. They can talk it, and if you ask them where their feelings are, they'll probably tell you they're in their head, because that is all they know. It's in my head. I don't feel. And I don't understand why that happens with people, that they lose touch with those feelings, but it does happen. Okay. I would say, where do you feel your intuition? Do you feel your intuition in your head? Because that means you're thinking it. That's ego. Just have a bit of a think about that one, because I think it really is hard for people to understand they need to be in touch with their feelings, and the feelings come from your whole body, not from your mind. Your mind thinks. Your feelings come from inside you. So you're trying to think how to explain that. When you go on a roller coaster ride, or you go on, you're going to a fair, and that feeling of excitement, I bet you can all feel that in your gut. How about the feeling when you're scared or you're frightened? I bet you feel that in your gut. But you ask someone sometimes how they feel, and they think with love. They don't feel it like you do with fear, anxiety, all those things. There's a disconnect here. So this person, I feel like this is you moving very quickly out of this relationship. I feel like you're done with the talking. I feel like you don't think you can put in any more. There's this hanging on to things would get better. Maybe we can build on things. Maybe we can try. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do that. And nothing's happening here. So I feel like you're moving away from this energy and you're going to let it go. There is no equal give and take here. And maybe for a long time you've loved this person. You've felt this incredible love for this person. But maybe now you're realizing that that isn't reflected in their heart. And you see it in their eyes. You look into their eyes, you see that connection just isn't there. Now, it could have been, for some of you, the connection was there to start with. I think, perhaps you did feel like you were in love with this. Maybe you still are in love with this person, but you're realizing that the love isn't reciprocated. And I can see this with the Six of Pentacles. It's an energy that says, I'm giving all this stuff to you, but I don't feel like I'm getting anything in return. So you're going to choose to be single here. You're going to choose to walk away from something that no longer serves you. And that's your victory. Because, at the end of the day, maybe you don't want to walk away from this person. Maybe you've been hoping and trying for so long and there just is nothing left to give now. Because I can see that you wanted to work with them, but there is nothing here. So it's time to roll on. Time to take on that Knight of Wands energy and get the hell out of Dodge. And take on the singledom that you've probably been thinking you've been doing anyway. So, it's a pretty tough reading for today, but I guess somebody had to heal it. I will put a Wicker Oracle card on it for you. How beautiful you have the black cat. That is number 19. If I looked at that, I would talk about your intuition, because I think cats always feminine side. But it's about a familiar. So it says your connection to nature is strong now. Pay attention to your animal companions, both in the flesh and fur and feather, and on the etheric planes. A totem animal may become known to you, calling forth qualities you have long possessed but not made good use of. So I think for some of you, this is about your intuition. You may have been having messages, you may have been not listening, you may have been missing the red flags, but you've ignored it. So your intuition has been trying to make contact with you. So maybe stopping for a few moments every day, trying a moment of mindfulness and just sit in your feelings. Just go into your intuition. Just stop there for a moment and remember how to feel love. I don't think you've all forgotten, but sometimes it's just nice to go there. Have a wonderful day, everyone.